Well, I am really, really glad that you are here today because underneath this cloth, I have what every single person in this room wants. Absolutely, without exception. I don't care what your circumstances. I know you want what is underneath this cloth. Even the people that are online, all of you deeply want what is underneath this cloth, and we're going to reveal it to you here shortly. Now, I want to tell you about a few things that you absolutely already know everything about. Relationships are important. That's not rocket science. Everybody knows this. It is that thing that is just so satisfying. We are craving it. We know it. The Bible talks about it from the very first story. From the very first story, God says it is not good for man to be alone. He will get himself into so much trouble. I got to make him a woman to help him, right? No, yeah, it's not about being a man. It's about being human, of going, we are meant, we are designed, right down to our DNA, we are designed for relationship. It's important, we know it. It's more satisfying than a Super Bowl win. It's more satisfying than a great job. A great relationship, if you've ever been in one, at least for a sliver of time, you know how satisfying that is. Even the cat videos can't hold a candle to it, right? It is good stuff. Now here's the deepest irony, and you know this as well, that as great and as fulfilling as relationships are, they are one of the most painful and aggravating things in our life. They gnaw on us like nothing else can or does. You want to go, no, cancer's a problem. Cancer can't even walk into the room of someone that has been raised by an alcoholic father or mother. And the devastation and wreckness that lingers for decade after decade and destroys everything it touches. Can't even hold a candle to it. Bankruptcy just ruined my life. Try a bankrupt marriage. When your guts are just kind of gnawing and you just don't know what to do and you don't know how to handle this. Money is just something grows on trees at that moment. They are our highest thing and they are our lowest thing. And we know it. And that's why every one of us, every single one of us wants what's underneath this cloth. Because I know that every one of you has at least one relationship in which you know and wish you could use this. Underneath this cloth resides, the relationship magic wand. And for a small one-time recurring fee of $100,000, you could use this. You could go over to your husband and go, bibbidi-babbidi-boop, and fix him. And she went, that's worth $100,000. Recurring even still. You could go over to your wife and go, ibbidi-babbidi-boo, and fix her. And turn into her loving and kind and gracious and everything that you would want, right? No troubles, no headaches any further. She doesn't even go shopping anymore, right? Or you have a boss that you wish you could take this and go ibbidi-babbidi-boo and get that jerk out of your life, right? Or a kid, or, right? You're like going, wait a minute, I'm up to $1 million. On the $100,000 thing, right? We want, and this took a long time to put together. You can tell. The relationship magic wand. We desire that. We want, it's the thing that we crave the most, and it's the thing that brings us the most grief and anguish. And we know down to our toes, if I could just get in there and tweak a few things, it would be so much better. It'd be so good if I just had the magic wand. Well, what I want to talk about here in Relationship Restart is that very thing. It's not about a wand that you wave over one another. It's about really understanding in a new way how we're approaching relationships. And I want you to hold on here. Ready? I'm going to draw. Relationships are not about you getting what you want. I want that to settle in on you. Relationships are not about you getting what you want. And we get into all types of trouble when we put that category with relationships. Relationships are going to solve these things. Relationship is going to give me everything that I want and desire, and they're going to fix things. They're going to make me better. Relationships are not about what you want. Relationships are about connection. See, that's why this doesn't exist. It's not just that, we're hopeful in another 5 years, maybe in quantum mechanics, they can figure this thing out and we can go abbity-babbity-boo. No. This thing is impossible. Because if you could control the people in your relationships, they're no longer relationships. Because relationships aren't about me getting what I want. It's not about controlling you. It's about making a connection and sustaining that connection. It is about me taking you as you are and you taking me as I am. Now, we don't want that to be static, but this isn't a power move. I don't get into relationship with you so I can fix you, so I can change you. I offer a connection that says, I take you as you are. And what we want to do in this series is we're going to restart this. Because what we find is you might go, oh, well, that's nice, but you know what? Relationships are painful. And I don't like that. I thought my relationship was going to get me somewhere, and when they don't, because unfortunately, Eileen's the only one that got the perfect husband. That wasn't a joke. It hurt my feelings. Right? You have a guaranteed success rate of being in relationship with an imperfect person. And so what do? We run from connection and we run right into isolation. And that's not always about being a hermit. You could, in the extreme, you just kind of start shutting yourself off from everybody, literally, and just be in your house. But there are degrees of this, what we do is we start to shut down in our relationships. We close the doors. We start to get guarded. We put up the walls. And it's this whole kind of process. I've heard it explained, think about like a hand. You've got an open hand. Everything's wide open. You can do everything. But man, it hurts a little bit and it just starts to close a little bit. You got some things that aggravate and it just closes a little bit. And you keep on going and pretty soon you've got to fight. Right? Because relationships are dangerous because I can't control you. You won't do what I want you to do. You won't be the way that I want you to be. And now I'm told I've got to take you as you are? Relationship isn't about connection for me. Relationship is this paradoxical thing that I deeply, deeply desire, and I run and hide from it, and it becomes a game of protecting myself. And I pivot. And I go, man, how do I make it so that you can't hurt me, so that I can minimize the disappointment, get as much good as I can get out of it without you damaging me in any way? And that's not relationship. You wish you could just hit a restart. Well, we're going to be looking through this not for techniques or tools. It's appropriate to have techniques and tools in relationships. Hey, you know what? If you kind of do this, it'll grease the wheels of the relationship. It'll be a little bit better. We're not doing that type of a series. This is about going to the foundation of how we relate, not just in marriage, but with our children, with our friends, with our coworkers, anyone that we have a relationship. How are we approaching this? And how do we hit a restart without having the magic wand where we get to fix people? In fact, what this is going to be about, it's going to be about us adjusting us. That's the restart. I'm pulling a lot of this material from Keep Your Love On by Danny Silk. He kind of works through this. We're going to have a small group on it, but maybe later on. A lot of great ideas out of this, biblical ideas. I was going, hey, this is how we approach relationships, because this is how God approaches relationships. So let's begin at the start here. So he says a healthy, lasting relationship, a real relationship, can only be built between two people who choose one another. Now you might go, oh, well, this is then talking about marriage. No, he's not talking about just marriage. He's talking about any relationship, any real relationship has to be between two people who choose that relationship and then accept full responsibility for that choice. Now, it's easy to see in kind of the marriage thing, right? You know, I get to choose who I do. We don't have arranged marriages. I don't get to pick my kid, but you get to pick that you were going to have a kid, generally speaking, right? You get to pick where you work. Yeah, you didn't pick who was going to be there, but you have a choice of going to work or not, right? This isn't about the response. This is not about a guilt trip of going, well, you better kind of do your business. What he's talking about is going, I accept the responsibility that as we have a relationship, I have a part of this. And I choose that. I step into it. Because that's the only thing I can do. I can't choose to change you. I can't choose to fix you. All I can choose is to be in it and take my responsibility. So think about it in this way. In 2001, I slipped a ring on Eileen's finger, and we spoke those sacred words before Pastor. I said, you will do the dishes. You will fulfill the laundry on a weekly basis, and you will cook me a king's dinner. You didn't use those words? Yeah, neither did I, right? In fact, I never used the word you, at least at the beginning of a sentence. I didn't say a single thing of what she had to do. What did I do? I take Eileen as my wife. I promise to love her and to care for her and to cherish her in sickness and in health, in good times and bad times. All I got to speak that day is what I was going to do. I got to choose, right? This is what I'm doing. And she said the same stuff to me. You will wash it. No. She said, I will love you, right? I'm going to be there for you. You can count on me. That's what is an essence of a healthy relationship. As a parent, you know, that kid comes out, you don't go, all right, you know, you're mowing the lawn. There's snow on the thing. You got a long list of things. If you're going to be a kid in this house, you better get to it. No, you go, I'm your mom, I'm your dad. And this is what you can count on from me. Right? That's my part. I choose. He says, now, in order to be able to make and keep commitments like these, to say I statements, I promise, this is who I'll be, you need to be a powerful person. Now, I don't want you to get tripped up by that word, because that can mean a lot of things in our culture today. You know, power is usually about, hey, wait a minute, power is about me getting what I want. It's about being a type of person that's pushy and bossy and dominating and can kind of get their way. They're crafty, they're sneaky, they're whatever they are. They're able to pull this off and get what they really want. And I'm sure there are relationship stuff out there of going, this is how you can make him a better husband. This is how you can make her a better spouse. This is how you can make him a better kid, better boss. But that's not what he's talking about. He's going, look, relationship begins with your choosing and accepting that you're in this relationship and I have a part to play in this. And that's the only part that I control. And I get to make commitments and keep commitments in that. I get to make decisions in this. What would you say to a guy that He found himself a wife and married her and cared for her and set her up in a nice house. And, a little bit into the marriage, he found out she's slipping out the back door at night. Finds out she's going down, she's cheating on him. Now, he's a godly man, and so he confronts her and says, hey, this isn't right. I married you, we're in a relationship. And so she stops that one. But invariably, down the line, slipping out the back door again. Finds her again. When we go, oh man, he needs to man up and kick her out. He needs to be powerful and make sure he's getting his fair share of this. Man doesn't do that. He's grieved. He's hurt. But he chases her down a second and even a third time. The man was God. It's a story in the book of Hosea. God went to a prophet, Hosea, and said, you go take this lady. She's going to cheat on you, just like my people cheat on me. They're going to run away from me. But I choose to love them. That's what this restart is about. It is about being the type of person that says, I get to decide my part in this relationship. Because I don't have that to control you. All I get to do is control me. So let's break this down really quick here. How do you know you're a powerless person? We need to be powerful. How do you be a powerless person? First thing you do is you listen to your words. I can't do that because she won't let me. I have to do this because he won't get it done right. I'll try. I tried that at the wedding too. That didn't go over so well. I'll try to love you for as long as I can. Yeah, no, right? The wedding's over right at that moment. There is no try in a wedding ceremony. Why do people use those words? Because I want to express that I have no power. I'm stuck in these relationships. I can't fix you, so I can't get what I want. I can't make the differences that I want to. I'm forced to go through and fulfill these obligations because you've made choices and I'm stuck and I just have to do this. I'll try to do better. See, that's what we get if we would just kind of focus on relational tools and techniques. I'll try to do that. I'll see if it works. I'll see if it really fixes them or not. No. See, the language says, I don't choose to be in this. And I certainly don't take responsibility for my part in this. I've pushed it off. Danny Soak says, the defining driving force of a powerless person is anxiety. Because I'm stuck. My relationships just aggravate me and they gnaw on me. Life is scary when you're powerless. I can't do anything. I just have to do stuff because other people have decided. When you live in a world where you believe most things and most people are more powerful than you, it is scary to feel that your life is out of control. Now, you're not going to necessarily say that, but it comes out in your language. Well, I got this boss. I got this kid. And I just can't. And I have to do this because, they don't give me any other options. I have said I have no choices. I've given up my power. Powerless people reveal themselves in their seeking. So if I have no power, who do I seek? I seek people that have power. People that make choices, people that seem to have a little bit together, not to model off of them, but to leech off of them. I attach myself and I go, I know that I don't have this. I'm filled with anxiety and I want to have what you have. And so if I saddle up next to you and I kind of connect with you, that maybe we can have a relationship and you'll steady my boat. I need people to rescue me. Because I can't choose, I can't fix things. You could. But when you start to a relationship based on this, then it becomes about you keeping that connection, not offering it, but keeping it. And that leads you to do it with control or manipulation, because now you're desperate. Now, and this can come across as, he puts it as, you could be the T-Rex. You can control and manipulate in a very overt way, be very aggressive, or you can do it very subtly and passive-aggressively and bring up threats and, oh, you can't do that to me. You're going to hurt me. And it'll be your fault because I can't. I have no choices to make. You're making all the choices. And eventually what that person does is they consume the relationship. They don't connect. Connection is about offering. Consume is about taking. And I'm trying to take from you what I think you have and to feed what I don't. It's not necessarily malicious. It's just kind of like, it's like a person drowning. You can have all the desire in the world to go over there and help that person, but you get in their arm's reach, what are they going to do? They will use you and push you down the water so they can keep their head above water. They're not even necessarily making that choice. You can't get into that. Once you start to consume, you go to the third phase, and that means you blame people. Because I've attached myself in these relationships. They're supposed to deliver for me. They're supposed to give me something, but you know what? You're not doing a great job. You got a few things, but not very good. I can give you a laundry list of how you're falling short, how you're not meeting my expectations. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you chose that. Don't you know how I feel and what I really wanted? And it's you. You're the one. Because I don't make any choices. I don't have any power. You have it. And it's everybody else in their life. Now, you've probably seen this in the extreme and go, oh, I'm not there. I'm telling you right now, take a moment. How long ago was it that you thought of a relationship you went, if they just wouldn't do that anymore, or if they would be this way, I could be happier? That's blaming. It creeps in on all of us. It's very easy to get there. See, powerless people cannot be healthy. They cannot be in a healthy relationship because they have renounced their power to choose. They're not in a relationship choosing it. They're stuck. And they've shifted all the blame and all the responsibility on other people. And there's nothing left to be done by them except consume. And either you find kind of a way to just kind of, hassle on through that, or it will eventually blow up. But what Danny's talking about, what God is offering, is he's calling us to be powerful people. Not in the sense of dominating. That's not what power here is. That's what the world would say. That's about how I get what I want. In fact, for him, powerful people are people that get it, that I know I can't control you because, one, it doesn't work. They paid with a credit card. They got ripped off. Believe me, everybody's tried. They tried it, and it doesn't work. They figured it out. Yep. And frankly, you know what? I've come to a place I understand it's not my job. Because that's not what this relationship is about. I'm not trying to get something from you. I am offering connection with you, and I take you as you are. And when I'm ready for a relationship with that, then I use words like I can, and I will, and who I am. Just like we do at a wedding. Or like a mother and a father when they see that child and go, I'm going to be there for you. Right? There's no if. There's no contract. If you do your part, then maybe I'll think about doing mine. This is who I am. That's what Jesus said to his disciples. He said, you didn't choose me. You didn't choose me. I chose you. Jesus could have easily went, look, You 12 country bumpkins, I'm trying to launch a worldwide movement here. Can't you get your act together? For crying out loud, you're making mistakes left and right. I'm pouring myself into you. One of you is going to betray me. One of you is going to deny me. The rest of you are getting out of here. What have I been doing? If you had been the type of disciples you should have been, then boy, we'd really have this thing on fire. See, you chose me. It's all on you. But Jesus is clear. I chose you. As you are. 12 rough country bumpkins. And you know what he does with those 12? He not only just pours 3 years of his life, but on the night of his betrayal, he kneels at their feet, even the one who will betray him, and he washes their feet. Because, and what does he say? Because that's who I am. I do this, and I set an example for you that you would carry it on. No ifs. No waiting to see what they're going to do. He says, I chose you. Powerful people give. They give of themselves. In fact, their love is not based on being loved in return. This is the biggest trip up here, is that I'm waiting to see what you do, and I hope you fulfill. Maybe we'll extend you even a little bit of credit, because we got to get the wheels turning here. But boy, you better pay that back. Jesus has none of it. He says, no, I love because I love you. And you can count on that. That's who I am. And I'm going to do this. And you can expect it from me. He teaches us as disciples. He says, love your enemies. Do good. Lend away your money and expect nothing in return. Maybe they pay it back. Maybe they don't. It didn't really matter in the first place. Because you're my followers. And we do good. We don't worry about money. We lend. We help. It never was about the getting it back. That's what banks do. We don't. Right? See, I get to choose to be in this relationship, not just be in it, but I get to choose who I am in it and how I will behave. That's the powerful choice right there, right? And then finally, powerful people, they decide. They don't just react. They're not just stuck. They're not like, oh, there's nothing else to do. I thought I picked a really good husband, but oh my goodness. A year later, never knew there could be that many dirty socks. No, powerful people, they decide. They say, I can be who I say I am, and do that on a consistent basis. I don't have to let the circumstance dictate to me. I'm not changing in the wind. You can be unfaithful, and I will remain faithful because that's who I am. That's my responsibility as part of this relationship. There may be consequences for that, but that doesn't change who I am. See, that's the restart. We want the restart that fixes them, and this is the restart that says, oh, I can choose. I have a responsibility. I can do that. Danny says, as a result, the powerful people are able to consciously and deliberately create the environment in which they want to live. How do they do that? That sounds like getting what you want. They don't try to get people to respect them. They demand it. Oh, wait, no. They create a respectful environment by showing respect. That's my choice. I get to do that. They deliberately set the standard for how they expect to be treated by the way they treat others. And as they consistently act in responsible, respectful, and loving ways, it becomes clear that the only people who can ever really get close to them, not by me putting up barriers and putting up my barbed wire and going, you aren't going to be allowed to come and touch me and hurt me, but just go, these are the terms of my connection that I'm offering you. This is who I am. Would you like to respond? That the only people that can get close to them are those who know how to show respect and be responsible and love well. You may offer this and they completely fumble the ball because it's not about controlling them. It's about taking responsibility for who I am and the way that I behave. All right, let's wrap it up. A healthy, lasting relationship can only be built between two people who choose. Whether or not you felt like you even chose that relationship, you get to choose even inside of it because you're responsible for who you are and how you behave. Stop looking at the other person, waiting for them to be something or to be changed. Power comes from owning what God has given us, because that's the only type of relationship we can ever have with one another, with God, is when we say, here I am and this is who I am. So today's the choice. Are you going to continue to be powerless and talk in terms of going, I'm stuck. All I'm left is with this stupid wish stick and recurring payments? Or I go, oh, I'm being invited into something real. And it starts with me choosing and being responsible for my part. We got more to unpack. We got to figure out all the dynamics going on here. But it starts here. Not with a hope and a wish, but with choosing and accepting our full responsibility. That's what we're going to restart. Let's pray. So Lord, we get it. We want it. We want this amazing gift that you offer us of relationships. But man, it just gets broken and twisted, and whew. Some days it just feels better to run off and alone. But we know that you have more for us, that this is good. It's good to be together. It's not good to be alone. It's good to be together. And that's going to take some work. Forgive us for the times that we have given up, pretended it's somebody else's fault. We're not responsible for everything, but we're responsible for us, for me. And Lord, with your help and your wisdom and your guidance, I want to restart. I want to restart my relationships. Will you guide me over these next few weeks? Will you show me how I can be the person you're calling me to be? For my good and for the good of everyone around me. Thank you, Father, that you love us no matter what. You have chosen us. Amen.